Hello, welcome back to Unveiling University. I'm Carly Philbrook, a third-year student at the University of Maine studying secondary education with a concentration in mathematics. Today, I'm going to try and discuss a little bit about my test-taking strategies because I know that at about a third of the way through the semester, exams are really starting to be talked about. I know that next week I have 2 math exams on Friday, so really looking forward to that. So I'm going to start planning it with you guys right now, how I'm going to study. So in our planner, we have included a blank study planner. I've started to fill it out a little bit. As you can see, I put in the test date of October 4th, and I started by filling in what sections are going to be covered on the exam, as well as at least one of the harder concepts for me. I've also put in that my teacher put 2 practice exams on our Brightspace, which is super helpful. So I'll be doing those to help study. I'll also be making a cheat sheet, which I don't believe is going to be allowed on the test. She said she's going to talk more about the test tomorrow. So whether or not I need it, I find that making a cheat sheet with all the things that you've learned is super helpful as a study method, because even when I am allowed to have it during the test taking time, I rarely reference it except maybe for an example. So, in the resources box, I'll probably put, teacher-made practice tests. And this is for my stats class, which is why I have it in green, because I've color-coded so that each class has a color. And so I think the teacher-made practice test is probably the only resource I'll use. I might also put extra practice problems on Brightspace, which is our learning management system that UMaine uses. But my teacher has posted some practice problems for each of the assignments. So I can probably go ahead and work on those for maybe the hardest concepts. So I think the first study activity that I want to do is one of the practice tests. I think I want to do that first just so I can kind of get a feel for what the test will look like, what it's going to be like, and maybe what concepts I'm having the hardest time recalling and applying in more of a test situation. In that case, I usually do try to keep it within like an hour when I'm taking the practice exam to more or less replicate the situation. But sometimes I will do it like piece by piece over a few days. After that, I'll probably make my cheat sheet next, I think, because that will show like all the concepts, and I think the exam will really help show which concepts I might want to go into more detail on and put maybe an extra example on my cheat sheet. After I make my cheat sheet, I'll probably do some extra practice problems just to cover the things that were a struggle for me when I did practice exam A. And then finally, I'll probably do practice exam B so that I can really see that if any of my work with creating the cheat sheet and doing the extra practice problems, making sure that I do have all the concepts nailed down. And if I, do struggle a lot with practice exam B, I'll probably go over the extra practice problems and maybe even look over my homework. I'll put that in there. So I think practice exam A, when do I want to take that? I think I really want to start studying this weekend so that I have pretty much a full week. But I am working Friday night and a lot on Saturday because it's family and friends weekend at UMaine. So I think that I'll do it on Sunday, which, what day is Sunday? Oh, actually, yeah, it should still be September. Let's see. It'll be the 29th. Okay, and then my cheat sheet I'll probably work on the next day. And then I'll say Tuesday through Wednesday. Oh, that's October 1st through 2nd. And then, not Friday, on Thursday, October 3rd, I'll do my last practice exam, and then I do have a little bit of time because my stats class is an afternoon class that I can review maybe the last few things that I want to work on. I'm not really sure. I did include this Pomodoro section for a class that it might be more helpful in. For me with math, when I'm given a practice exam, I like to do it all at once, like I said, replicate those test-taking conditions. So I'm not sure if I'll use the Pomodoro, but maybe when I'm working on my cheat sheet or extra practice, I'll plug those pieces into the Pomodoro. So as I mentioned, actually let's go in and fill in the start date as Sunday. So, and let's see. Easiest concepts. I might fill in this section as I go through my cheat sheet or practice exam A to really see what I actually am having an easier and a harder time with. So I think I'll fill those in more detail later. So as I mentioned, I actually have 2 tests on that Friday. So I also have an exam in my abstract algebra class on that same Friday. So I haven't really done any of the work for this one yet. I haven't started. So let's see what sections were covered. We talked about, this class is so random. We have all sorts of little theorems that we talk about. But the main thing that we've really talked about is groups and I think subsets. So I'm going to put those in. And I might mention that we talked about 2 different types of groups in bigger detail. So I think, like I said, I think I'll fill in the easiest and hardest concepts after I do my first study activity. The problem here is that I don't have any practice tests to work from. So I think my class, it is a proofs-based math class. So I think that, reviewing homework is always a helpful thing, but also to complete the proofs in my notes by myself. I think that will be a helpful tool. So I think I'll break that down maybe by week. And so I'll say week 1 proofs plus homework as my first kind of study activity. And let's shrink that a little bit. And then I'll do week 2 proofs and homework. And then, just kind of the same thing each time. So that way I should be able to cover all of the material that's going to be on my test. So this is also a hard one because I have to consider what I'm doing for this exam and making sure that I'm not overloading myself. I also should probably create a cheat sheet for this class as well. Okay, so let's see. We might have to shrink down the text in this one a little bit more. And shrink the boxes so that we can add a few more boxes on this chart. And so I'll add 2 more. So I think I'll do, the cheat sheet after for this class, because I think that maybe once I've done a review of the proofs and homework, I should be better at summarizing, or maybe I'll do it concurrently. So I'll do it as I go through my homework and proofs. And then I will go over problem areas for my last step. So I think that I'm also going to have to just start on Sunday here and just, each day do a little bit more. And then maybe maybe for the Pomodoro, I think I could actually use this. So like I might for the first 25 minutes review homework one, first half, first half of my homework one, and then I'll do second half of homework one, and then I think I'll do some cheat sheet work once I've gone through all of the homework. And then actually, let's just generalize this for each homework. And then here, I might redo some struggle areas again there before I take this longer break. And then I can go through the first half of notes, second half notes, and then cheat sheet, then redo. Thanks for watching us on Vail University every step of the way.